Planning your Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch.
Saturday night is the loneliest night in the week.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the heavy metal happy hour with the one and only Fishman.
I know that, dude.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Everyone get out!
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic.
Enjoying all that Toxic Radio has to offer? Well, make sure you like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be the first to find out about ticket giveaways, amazing guests, awesome contests, and Toxic Radio events. Just search Toxic Radio Live, all one word, and press that little button. Every time you do, someone here at Toxic Radio will get their wings.
Yay!
Well, not really. Aww. But we will get a warm, fuzzy feeling in our tummies. But then again, that just might be the beer. Anyway, like and follow us, and we will see you out there on the interwebs.
Hungry for Hope Nation, Reckless, Donnie Hart here, and we have a special show for you. We have a year in review with Hungry for Hope, and I have my co-host,
Big time Tim Kudge.
Great job, Tim. And we have a man with us, a man who started off as our sports and gambling expert, but he became more of a part of the Hungry for Hope Nation. We have Yanni the Greek. Yanni.
What's going on, gentlemen? Thank you for making me feel part of the family. And, of course, Tim, that's the way to end the year right there. For as shitty year as it's been, that's how we want to end it and want to start this show.
How to bring it home.
Absolutely.
Yanni, how you feeling? We got a lot to talk about, but how are you feeling? We're going to get the sports, but how are you feeling after this Eagles game?
Well,
anything you want to let out before we get into the show?
Yeah, listen, it's always a bummer when the season ends, right? Where there's one game to go, that's not even going to matter. It's the last game of the season. We're going to have to sit there and watch. Of course, it's going to be fun to try to wreck the Washington football team's season.
We gotta take knees the whole game.
Take knees. You want that draft pick?
I want that draft pick, and I don't want Dallas to get into those playoffs.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, obviously, again, we've dealt with injuries all year, drama at the quarterback position. I mean, the year sucked for the Philadelphia Eagles just about as much as it sucked for the rest of the world. So we're kind of glad to get it over with. New start next year. And we'll see what the team does. A lot of work to do on that roster.
Yeah, I mean, I was really upset about last week's game, obviously. We had a chance to get in the division. It cost me a beautiful, like the Mona Lisa of six-game parlays, a beautiful six-game parlay for $2,400. It was a rough week, but, you know, I'd like to see them go in there and just lose to Washington, get brutalized.
I can't imagine they're going to go in very motivated. They haven't been all that motivated for games that did count, so I can't see them coming out really trying to win. But you know, one more game here, and then we'll get to the important stuff, which is remaking this roster with much younger, better players. Maybe just kind of setting the stage for a future run.
Hopefully, we re-sign Jason Peters.
So Yanni, you bring up a great point. You're talking about building something from scratch. Well, that's kind of what we have done here at Hungry for Hope. We took a vision, as messed up as it was. You know, we didn't have much direction. Me and Tim connected. We connected with Toxic Mike from Toxic Radio, and we brought this vision, this thing we didn't know. We knew we wanted to bring some kind of inspiration. I knew I had a love for food. Tim had a remarkable story about his overcoming so much to be where he's at in life, just like my story. And and we just ran with it. And we brought in Yanni the Greek. Like I said, he came in sports and gambling, and he became part of the family. Yanni, so people would get a vision. We'll get into how we started, but how did you come in? We were a podcast. We become a brand now. We're also a nonprofit, Hungry for Hope nonprofit. We got our 501. But when you came into the show, Yanni, we were a couple months into the show, I think. And we brought you in. Me and you go way back. I go way back with your family. Great people. You guys have deep roots in this area. You're from Greece, obviously, but your family established great roots in this area, the Philadelphia, South Jersey area. Tell us, did you have a background in broadcasting? What was your whole thing, Jan?
Well, so I got to. There you go. I got to say, when you first invited me to come onto the show, I was skeptical. I think is one way to put it. I didn't really know where it was going to go, but we discussed it, and I had a little bit of experience, and you thought maybe there was a role for me, so. I did what I could, and I tried my best, and you two saw to it to keep me on. Maybe just to kind of bust my balls about losing some weeks, or for content or whatever it was. It's okay. I don't. But it's been fun. It's been a great experience, of course. Being able to help you guys be out there in the community, helping people out, and everything like that. That's it's definitely gratifying.
Well, me personally, Yanni, anything I do in life, anybody listening, anybody involved in my life, the first reason you're in my life, friends, employers, any bosses, family members, I don't care. I'm the one at the end of the day who determines if you're in my life. You can be blood, you can be a neighbor,
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I determine if you're in my life. Same with Tim, same with Yanni. So the number one thing I look at you as a person, I don't look at your background. I've told people before, I've told stories. I have friends who might be gangsters, politicians, cops, rich, poor. I don't look at any of that. I look at you as a person. I like, if you take your life, if you're down and out, whatever you're doing, you put people who are good people to you in your life. Things will work out eventually, no matter what they do, what they've been through, what they're currently doing. Just look at them as a person. That's what we kind of do at Hungry for Hope. We put good people around us and, tell some stupid jokes, eat a couple cheesesteaks. Next thing you know, we call ourselves a brand. It works itself out.
That's how it works. I mean, and that, well, it's no small part to, the people that support us, too, out there. There's no reason. Well, here comes Rashawn Bass. We're in his life, whether we like it or not. And,
yeah, Rashawn Bass, another great guest. Even these guests I've gotten.
yeah.
I'm not as dumb as I look. I do my homework.
Mm-hmm.
I look into them, and Tim's over there waving his hand. Whatever, Tim. I'm not good at reading or writing, but I'm pretty damn good at getting guests. We have guys like Moose Moretti, Rashawn Bass. They're tuning in. I look at them as people, and I say, is this the kind of person I want to bring to Christmas dinner? And the funny part, I'm not even invited to Christmas dinner anymore. But I can invite people. It's weird. Grandmom's going to be like, what the hell? It's going to be weird if Rashawn Bass shows up and Moose Moretti and like Tony Hoffman at my dinner with my grandma. Well, first of all, you got to realize my grandma's dead. So it's like, they're going to be creeped out. She's going to be there, casket and all. But, the hell, at least they're good people around my dead family. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Was this the grandmom you talked about fighting last week?
That's the one. I don't know what's going on.
I have
Grandma
so
from
many
beyond the
grandmas.
grave's got something for you. I'm telling you.
I have so many grandmoms. But anybody listen, put good people around your life. Don't matter who they are. Like I said, criminals, convict, politicians, rich, poor, ugly, tall, big. Make sure you put good people in your life, and the rest will happen. We brought in, Yanni the Greek. Yanni, you did have a background. You went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Shout out to them. Fishman, who has a show every Saturday on Toxic Radio.
Toxic Radio.
I was going to say Hungry for Hope. My God.
You got Mike Stewin back there. You can't say the name.
Yeah. He was your teacher. Another great man.
Yeah. A bunch of good people over there. at the
Heavy
school.
Metal Happy Hour he does. And they taught you, your dream, but you do work at your family's business. Like I say, your family's great people. So you have a great job and, a responsibility that you take, and you're really good at it. And, family's first and everything, but this is still your dream. Somewhere in broadcasting, I know you did the sports scouting.
Yeah.
So this gives you, an opportunity to dive a little bit into a dream that kind of, got away from you when life got in the way.
Sure, it does. It gives me a platform, and my intention, if you guys will allow me, is to kind of share my scouting notes and everything like that through as we get through the winter and into the spring and around the draft. And you know what I mean? I think that'll be something that will both be informative for the fans here. I know we have a lot of Eagles fans that follow us and everything like that, but we have a lot of fans of other teams and everything like that may be interested in hearing another opinion. It's something that I have a passion for. I don't really know where it came from, but I got to tell you, all the scouting and the GM stuff that I see in sports, like I'm able to use it at work, and I'm able to use stuff at work for seeing things in scouting, and it's been a really interesting.
Well, that's crazy.
Kind of byplay.
You're not the boss, but you are a boss. You have people under you at work.
Sure.
So you use, in scouting, we look at people. We don't just look if somebody can throw the football. Like a guy like Jalen Hurts, what I was trying to tell everybody, he was so much more than a football player. Jalen Hurts, I looked at the things. He got benched at Alabama. The way he handled it, the dignity, the class, the respect, you don't see that much in sports anymore. You got these guys at these top schools who are told they're the best, and next thing you know, they think they're the greatest thing on earth.
Yep. You got guys playing AAU basketball at like 12.
Yeah.
Everyone's handing them shoes and whatever it is.
So you could probably use like the things. You look at people like, hey, they're good people. They're my employee. They might be great at sales, but are they good people? Is there somebody I want to bring around? A family business. So your scouting expertise probably comes in great at work.
At the end of the day, scouting and management, the thing that they have in common, the most basic thing, is putting people in position to succeed, right? So just because someone is a great pocket passer, let's say, versus, being able to create on the run, does not mean that they are a bad quarterback or they're worse than this or whatever it is. It's just you find out what someone's good at and you set them up to succeed, right? That's what this whole thing is about. And I will be talking hockey.
Yanni will be talking, but even some of our guests, they had notable careers. Let's talk about terrible Tim Witherspoon Jr., good friend of Tim's, your trainer.
Yeah, I mean, we used to do the radio show on Fox Sports.
Yeah, Tim and him had the show.
And he trained me for most of my celebrity boxing matches at Witherspoon's Boxing and Fitness in Bristol, PA. Great gym, outstanding programs all over there. It's for everybody from beginners to advanced, so it's a outstanding place.
But with Big Time's background in boxing, and he had this big show on Fox Sports, we had access to a lot of big-time professional boxers, ones who might be more known. Even though Witherspoon's a huge name in pro boxing, we had access to people who were more well-known than Tim Witherspoon Jr., but as a person, I really like Tim Witherspoon Jr. I didn't know much about him until my relationship with Big Time, and I met him through that. But the more I saw what he's doing in the communities out there in Bristol, like Tim said, he trains kids. He's out there. He's helping. He's cleaning up the community on the weekends. He's teaching kids. He does marches and he does everything. Right,
yeah, he's doing all kinds of stuff. He stays busy during the times when Governor Wolf will come down and shut the gyms down. And he does a lot for the community, so it's definitely an A+.
So I'd much rather have him, no offense, than a guy like Floyd Mayweather.
Well, he's a dickhead.
Call me crazy, but I look at people, I don't care who they are in their life, if they're, the champion or a contender. Don't get me wrong, Witherspoon's a hell of a boxer. His dad was a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. But all that shit, all the belts and all the trophies and, that shit don't mean nothing to me. I've been on the highs. I've been all over. That shit don't mean nothing. As a person, that's what it means.
Well, it's like I always said, like they always call Floyd Mayweather all-time great boxer. They call people all-time great this. I'm like, it doesn't really matter whether you work at McDonald's, whatever you do. You mow lawns, you own a business, you're an entrepreneur. As long as you try to be an all-time great at what you do, you can be an all-time great. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be a recording artist. You don't have to be famous. But just work your hardest, be the best that you can, and you can be an all-time great in anything you do. Like
everyone is capable of success, right? Everyone, we are blessed with big-ass human brains, right? They can do anything. No matter how, maybe, they're limiting in some ways. Sorry, Doc. But if you apply yourself and put yourself in position, right, to do what you're good at. Everyone has a skill of some sort. You put yourself in that position, and then you use the people around you to kind of bolster that and help you out doing it. You can't go wrong with that. And even if you do, the next time you do it, you won't.
Look, we talked about Witherspoon. He was one of our amazing guests. Another guy, one of our first guests, first or second, in studio guest, Bill El Wingador Simmons. This was a guy who became a champion from eating food. He was one of us. He was a local guy. He was a local guy who, he became a champion in the world of eating wings, food. But he was so, he hit tough times. Like, no matter, if you live long enough, if you haven't hit tough times, I don't want to be around. Everybody goes through something, whatever, if it's tragedy, if it's a loss, if it's a personal demon.
Sure.
And that's what really defines a person, how they handle a bad situation. This was a guy who took just something as simple as eating wings, and he did it better than just about anybody. But then his personality, the kind of person he was, he made it into like a brand. Now the guy, he announced when he was on the show, he had the wing sauce coming back out. Now he's killing it with that. He has a lot of awesome stuff. He had a book, Snow on the Barbed Wire, by El Wingador. You can buy that. I've read it twice. I got it on Amazon. He was another great human and one of my favorite guests on the show by far. He was amazing. But that's just what I'm saying. He took something. He got notoriety because of the wingy, and then some people will just not do anything with that. But he took that notoriety and he's like, hey, I got a platform where I can change the freaking world. I'm telling you. He's known nationally.
He changed the world of hot sauce, that's for sure.
Yeah, the hot sauce is amazing. But these are guys like, Witherspoon, El Wingador, guys who took their platform, no matter how big or how little it was, and ran with it. Am I right or am I wrong, big time?
I mean, when you're right, you're right.
It's very, it's not very often, but when he's right, he's right.
I would love to hear from our viewers. Tim, you'll see him comment, and you'll let me know who your favorite guest on the show was. We'll go through. I already mentioned Tim Witherspoon and El Wingador. Some of the greatest guests we had, Destiny, the Queen of Harm Reduction, Campanella. If you like one of these, let us know. We had Jeff Loudy Kane. He runs On Point Wrestling. He came live in studio. It was awkward as shit when I was telling him stuff. I don't think he was ready for some of the stuff I threw, but he took it in stride. The man came in with a plan, and he gave a pretty good damn interview. One we had on recently, Tony Hoffman, went from prison to the Olympics.
It's a great one.
He's a pro BMXer. I've gotten calls from all over the world, messages, emails about this interview. He's a guy who gets paid a lot of money to travel around the world and speak and tell his story, and he graciously came on our show. I don't know why, what he was thinking, but we got blessed with him coming on the show and free of charge and telling his story. Story that people pay a lot of money to hear, and that was awesome. We had Rashawn Bass, who we just mentioned. Rashawn Bass, who's out there. He is New Jersey's own Batman, Superman, whatever you want to call him. He's one of my favorite people on Earth. On Earth. Another graduate of Connecticut School of Broadcasting. We have Lauren Janae, and we got special with that. We had Ty, her husband. They were both on the show. Lauren is the co-founder of a $1 billion brand, CrossFit. We had the Thruple, Billy, Jessica, and Michelle. That was an amazing story. That one caught me off guard. I didn't know how good that was going to be. They're living a different lifestyle.
How could it go bad?
I came across them in the New York Post, man. They came across me as genuine people. I reached out. Next thing you know, they're on our show, and they handled it perfectly.
Hey, they crushed it.
I really loved that interview. Another one just like that, another person I came across that I didn't have any kind of relationship was Lisa Merck. Colorado COVID queen or whatever. I forget what the name we gave her.
Queen.
She was one of the first national stories to have COVID, and that's when we just started the show. I reached out to her. We were going to have her on as our first guest, and COVID came back and hit her hard, and she couldn't come on the show. A couple months later, she reconnected with me. Mm-hmm. We had her on the show. She's one. We had so many powerful women on the show. Lauren was, even Jessica, Michelle, great women. we had a lot of, I don't know how it started. I remember somebody hit me up. They're like, Donnie, you became like, you're half Howard Stern, half Oprah. I'm like,
That's what I think of.
I was
when
like,
see
where
you
did
too,
the
man.
Howard Stern
Definitely.
thing come from? What do you mean?
Sure,
I see the Oprah. I could be your child after all. But, because we started getting people like her.
Yeah.
And then we had Jocelyn James. Terrell Potter came on with her. She saved Terrell Potter's life. A few years before she saved Terrell Potter's life, Jocelyn James was arrested. She was on Alabama's Most Wanted, and she was captured by
Terrell Porter.
Terrell Potter, not
Potter.
Porter. Terrell Potter, who
Tomato.
he arrested her, but in essence, he actually saved her life. And then when he had the failing kidney, she came back and saved his life.
Should return the favor.
So that was another amazing woman we had. And Shangri-La Rendon. She just broke another Guinness World Record. She breaks more Guinness World Records than I break glasses at a bar, Tim. I break a lot.
Can confirm.
That was a good save with that analogy.
Yeah. Didn't know where it was going.
I don't know where I'm going sometimes, but yeah,
That's how the
Shangri-La.
glasses get broken.
I was like, what did I do to deserve this guest? We had her on. Me and Tim were just looking at each other. She was so good. And these are just some of the amazing female inspirational. We're just.
I mean, I have a theory for that, Donnie, if you'll indulge me, is that you build relationships with these guests. You don't just get them on to put them on the air for a little bit and, raise your kind of status and the show's status. No, you're talking to them still. Now, to this day, you'll throw out a text to, when we're hanging out, so-and-so said hi or whatever. You kind of keep it alive. It's a personal thing for you. It's not about business.
I do feel like I get a relationship with these people. I've sent them a lot of them happy holidays messages. I follow them online, social media, because they really touched my life. Their stories, they give me an opportunity. A lot of them open up, even Shangri-La. She opened up, she said stuff like a lot of people thanked her for being, this stuff's not easy. Even me and Tim share our past. One of the hardest things is being honest. When you're talking about overcoming things like she overcame, like Tim overcame, like I overcome, it's nothing you want to talk about. These are moments that you're embarrassed, moments that you embarrass your family, moments, that really hurt. A lot of deep feelings. They're not cool stuff. But like Shangri-La, like Tim, like me, we know by sharing the stuff that we overcame, we're helping people. So how selfish will we be? I don't think I said that word right, but I don't give a.
Selfish?
Yes.
There you go.
How would we look if we're not going to open up and tell people, knowing that we might save one life, somebody who's going through some of the stuff like Shangri-La went through, some of the stuff like you went through, some of the stuff I went through? What kind of person would we be if we want to open up and talk about that? So anybody going through that stuff, man, there's people out there. Even I get people hit me up privately. Hit us up privately, whatever. You don't have to start your own podcast and talk about it. You don't have to be a guest on my show. If you just want to hit up one of our inboxes, our email, hungryforhope@yahoo.com. Anything. We're here to listen.
Donnie's like, I'll help you, but I don't want you popping up to be our competition, all right? So calm down.
I mean, I think what we hope is that if we do help somebody, that eventually they become one of these guests that we kind of pump up and talk and share their story with everybody after they, bounce back and succeed.
As long as they don't start a podcast.
As long as they don't start a podcast. But,
I've had people where I hit up like Tim and Yanni.
Guy.
I've hit up people like Tim and Yanni, and I said, like, this is going to be a guest in 6 months, a year. I was like, this person's going to be a guest.
Every other day.
And,
the Madman was cool.
Oh, yeah, we had Madman Moose Moretti. That's a great man, personal friend of mine. Guy who's done amazing things in professional wrestling. A lot of connections in the community. He called in. He was just, random calling in one day. It was awesome. I appreciated his call in. We had another local guy from South Philly, Frank Mink.
Oh, yeah.
They made a movie after this guy, American History X.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They made the book. Frank Mink, man, I got a lot of positive back from him, man. He's a guy who, he overcame a lot of hate and stuff, and now he's out there. He's another guy who gets paid a lot of money to tell his story, and he was nice enough to come on our show and share it freely. just he's a guy I reached out to, and
It's kind of like somebody that works out at a Tillis gym then stops and doesn't work out there anymore. Similar story to that.
yeah. Nah, we're not going to go to Tillis Gym. They weren't guests on the show. We had nothing to say about them. We will go to Duke the Dumpster. These are the guests we're just going through. Duke the Dumpster, Mike Drowse. He was a WWF star back in the 90s. Hit some hard times. I know also well about that. And he overcame it all. And, he's real big. He has his own podcast, Road to Recovery, with Duke the Dumpster. He was awesome. He was real cool. We had your friend, Louise Hazel.
Oh, yeah.
This guy was, he got COVID when it was
Early on.
early on. He's a father. He's a family guy. He's a great guy from Philly, and he got this COVID, and he fought it like almost 2 weeks in the ICU over in Philly. They gave him just a small percentage chance of living. He fought it, and then he spread his story to tell people, about the COVID, just like Lisa Merck did. There were two people who, it's crazy talking to people who had the COVID. Even Jocelyn James had the COVID. But there were two crazy stories, Lisa and Hazel's.
Well, the issue is you hear more stories like on the news and stuff and articles and newspapers about people passing away from it. You don't hear as much as about the people that, fought and survived it.
Yeah, they got their ass kicked and then survived it. Yeah.
Yeah, but anybody, you can message us what story you like the most, and Tim will inform me. And we love to know what guests inspired you. That's what the show's all about. We share some of our inspiration, but our whole thing, and we're going to be doing, coming this new year, we're going to be bringing inspiring guests. I ran down some great ones, man. Yanni, you heard the guests. What inspiring story out of them guests? I just threw like 15 at you. What one really inspired you?
Well, one I wanted to highlight was Lisa Merck. I mean, I think in terms of podcast guest, right? Like really hits all the things. She was incredibly informative. She was very entertaining. She invited us out to Colorado, which I'm still waiting. Once this stuff clears out, I'm going. I don't know if you guys are coming with me, but it's great out there. It's a great country.
Lisa, if you're listening, Yanni's coming out to Colorado.
I'm coming to set up a shot. But yeah, I just think the timing of it too. It was super informative in a time that we needed information, and she had it.
Lisa was episode 17.
Yeah.
It was called the Rocky Mountain Corona Queen. Just so anybody listening, you can find it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Launchpad, Apple iTunes. But that was your favorite, Jan?
It was a good one, yeah. I just think from when you need knowledge, you need entertainment, and again, inviting me out to party it always helps.
Her story was awesome because I saw her on national news. She was on every news station. I didn't know what Corona really was. She caught it real early on, before everything. Mm-hmm. Probably the first national case that was actually speaking out on the news, right. And she was speaking while she had this, and it was pretty amazing. And then after that, I found all the other crazy stuff she does. She does so much in the community, and if you look at the thing we put up on her,
what is it? She has like a woman
I'm sure
shelter.
We can put it up on the
I think she
the screen.
Heals babies
Lisa
when they're
Merck.
sick or something. She
does a lot of
water,
stuff.
Something like I don't know, a bunch of stuff.
She does so much, but she was definitely one of my favorite. You can't go wrong with her.
Yeah, retired military. I mean,
retired
she
military.
even served in the armed forces, everything like that.
Everything.
I mean,
Air Force.
Yeah.
Tim, you heard Yanni's favorite. What was
Set
your
the bar
favorite?
high, Tim.
What was your favorite?
I mean, I would have to say there was a lot of great guests to choose from. A lot of great guests, a lot of interesting stories. But I'm going to have to go with one that kind of matched up to my story. Tony Hoffman. He went through a life of addiction, went to jail, then went to the Olympics. I kind of one-upped him, went through a life of addiction, started Hungry for Hope podcast.
Tim, you went to the Olympics?
No, but
what sport did you do at the Olympics?
No, I said I kind of one-upped him. He went to the Olympics. Tony Hoffman, he was a coach for BMX bikers.
I thought you went to the Olympics. I was going to
say. No, I
said
I did one better. I was instrumental in starting Hungry for Hope. So I mean,
so that's better than the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how you look at it, right? But I mean, he did tremendous. He's got books. He started a a nonprofit that they had going for a while. I mean, they were building bikes for young kids, underprivileged kids that needed bikes, and that was the main thing. But he's done a lot for the community. Now he travels around the country speaking about his story, just like he came on Hungry for Hope and did.
Yeah, his speaking about the nonprofit really kicked us in the butt to get our nonprofit started. Hungry for Hope nonprofit, which is official, and we're going to be rolling out a lot of cool stuff 2021. We got some great stuff coming on for that. But yeah, Tony knew his stuff, man. What was that thing he
7 pillars of
the
sobriety.
7 pillars of sobriety. That was pretty cool stuff. It was, and when you look at this and we bring it up, you don't just have to put that to sobriety. You can put that in life, like you said. Just take out
the God spirituality.
You don't need God in there.
Take out support groups.
Yeah, and you can put it if you're a business owner, if you're somebody trying to go through anything in life. You don't need all that stuff. It's just a great diagram if you're getting your life together. Tony Hoffman was great, man. You know,
I mean, you got who Yanni picked. You got who I picked. Let's go to you, Donnie.
We have Lisa Merck, and we have Tony Hoffman. Man, mine
I
come.
know what's coming here.
Nah, mine come to 2. I'm down to 2, and they're both in studio guests, which mean they were local.
Okay.
And they were
I got
both our first 2 guests. You had Destiny Campanella, like, oh man, I heard of you. That was something straight out of a movie. That was great. We did the Narcan, which is huge right now. We did a how-to Narcan video with her and the dummy in the studio. She told us how she's really out there on the streets, and this was right before COVID, like a week before I think we had her on, like.
Right as it was like kind of
she came on like the week the pandemic was shutting everything down. And I don't know if anybody follows, but overdoses and homelessness, everything's on the rise because of this pandemic. And she really talked about that. She taught us how to do Narcan. She gave us Narcan. She told us, you might think this don't discriminate. There could be somebody in your life, this could save a life. You might not think you need this Narcan, but she showed us how to give it. She was awesome. And one of my favorites, but my favorite, man, a friend of mine I've known before this, Al Wingador. Al Wingador's story, man, I can just relate a lot to him, man. He was a local guy who was in the spotlight, man. Just a local Joe anybody. Could be your dad, your father, your neighbor.
Could
he
be
got
your dad or your father.
He could be anything, Yanni. What do you mean? Your uncle. I don't care. 2 different words, 2 different worlds.
I'm sure.
And he hit this peak. I tell people this story a lot. I was at Chickies and Pete's. The Eagles, a couple of the Eagles were there. I think it was like Freddie Mitchell, who was like our big time draft pick.
Fred X.
He was a big deal. And I look over, I know he's there, and I look over and I see this line of people waiting. They want to meet this guy. I was like, all these people want to meet Freddie? I'm looking up, I'm thinking I'm going to see, who do I see? I see this like.
It's more like, oh, Freddie got out?
I see this 6'6" behemoth with blonde hair. I'm young at this time. I'm a young teen. And it's not Freddie Mitchell. Freddie Mitchell's sitting in the corner with like 2 people asking for autographs. There's a line outside the door. It's El Wingador. The guy who can eat wings, because people can relate to him. Freddie was like cocky.
The guy who can eat wings.
El Wingador was just one of the boys. He was over there chugging a Bud Light probably, clapping hands, giving hugs. And, I kind of knew of him. I hadn't really met him yet. But I was like, oh, this guy is like, just took something like that and he ran with it. And he could be your neighbor, like I said.
Yeah,
and he was awesome. I didn't know. We linked up through some mutual friends later. He used to come to my wrestling school with good friends with Pretty Boy Larry Sharp. God bless his soul. Him and his son, Sean, used to stop by. Sean used to get in the ring. They came to some of my matches. They showed a lot of support. And, he had, some adversity. What's the word?
Adversity.
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 There you go.
Adversity. That's a hard one to pronounce. Adversity.
I
Adversity.
struggle with it a few
I
times.
thought it was like when you celebrate something with your like girlfriend, like
It's anniversary.
anniversary. So
What did I say about human brains before?
he had adversity. Yeah, a lot of adversity. He probably had an anniversary. Too. I
Sometimes
don't know.
sometimes you have to
anniversary.
sometimes you have to overcome an anniversary. Right?
But he had a lot of that. Get back on topic. And he dealt with it like a man, a stand-up guy, class act. He took responsibility. He didn't throw anybody under the bus. He was a man's man. Took care of it, and then it came out, and got back to work doing the great things he was already doing before that shit happened. He wrote a book, like I already mentioned, Snow on the Barbed Wire. Great book. He has the wing sauce that we took shots of on the show.
Great wing
You can
sauce.
get that at elwingadorsauce.com. Great shit. Or sauce or whatever.
That's your language.
Yeah.
It's a
And,
children's program.
Yeah, we ate wings from Southwood with them here. They were great wings, man. We made a mess. I still get shit for that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they were good wings, though. Real good. Got them all over the studio, brother. But, yeah, El Wingador. Destiny's close with El Wingador, man. El Wingador, Shangri-La could have been in there. The Thruple, man. And Sean Bass.
I would have thought the thruple was going to be
Thruple,
your,
yeah, man, they were-
that was going to be your pick.
I loved them.
Definitely.
You know why? Because they were so. I wasn't expecting such a good interview.
Well, from an entertainment value standpoint, I mean, how can you be?
And they were like
those
somebody,
guys, yeah.
like some nut from like
That was pure Howard. Someone you mentioned. Someone
I just
said
mentioned
Howard
it.
Stern.
Yeah, I reached out to him and I was like, "Yeah, come on the show." Next thing you know, a couple days later on the show, I was like, and it was great.
Yeah, man, that's like a Howard Stern moment. Whoever said it to you is probably because of that, because you handled it just like that, and it was highly entertaining. And yeah, again, after one conversation with my man Billy there, you can understand why he's got two ladies hanging on his arm. The guy's smooth, smooth as hell.
They're cool people,
I
man.
need to
They're,
take some lessons or
He,
something.
he ain't a rookie.
that's entertainment. Now, I still want to hear who the favorite guest is from our viewers. I've had some people hit me up. I know I've got some Madman. Another great one. A lot of people like Duke the Dumpster. I'm getting some messages about Duke the Dumpster. Johnny, what do you think about Duke the Dumpster?
It's pretty crazy stories.
I'll kick your ass if you don't say that.
My favorite was like just hearing you guys like kind of back and forth like the wrestling jargon. You know what I mean? Like, and just knowing nothing about it, just like kind of hearing you guys being on the same page about how like things are. Like that was just kind of like
yeah,
because
because we both had
being a part of it.
I wasn't signed a contract with WWE like him, but I was there. I could kind of relate to how he said he had the ego, and then you get involved in the drugs and the partying, and I can relate to that when I was in the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I love getting into other industries and kind of how they work. I mean, I've worked in food service all my whole life. You know what I mean? Nothing fun there. Just a bunch of foreign people yelling at each other, mostly.
Yanni, can you get us some turkeys? Yeah, I got your turkey breast.
You asked. That's what I had. I don't know. You didn't even buy the turkey breast, by the way. We could have made some great bowls.
But back on track, guys.
On to you.
And Jocelyn James, that was another one I could have put up there. That was one of the coolest interviews. We talked about it. Jocelyn has changed her life around. She did so much this holidays for people, incarcerated females and everything. That was a cool interview because we kind of surprised her. We did some work, and we had Terrell Potter call in as a surprise guest. She didn't know that was going on. I pulled, I'm getting good at this. And Terrell, he was...
Don't hurt yourself patting yourself on the back.
They're just so polite, the Southern, I guess from where we're from, it's just a little different. People aren't as nice. They were just so nice and proper, and it was a breath of fresh air. Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And their story was amazing. Our story's all about, inspiration, and me and Tim share, stories of inspiration. So it was pretty cool having that, right, Tim? I know you were a big fan of Jocelyn's.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a story that a movie probably should be made of, at least a book written about something.
Do you think we'll be in that movie? If who would play you if you were in the movie?
I would hope probably Leonardo DiCaprio or Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg? You think?
I look like him.
I see like a Samuel L. Jackson.
You kept a straight face for a long time there. I'll give you that.
Morgan Freeman, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we could get the guy to play Gollum for Yanni.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's makeup. It's a bunch of makeup.
Who would play Yanni the Greek?
Maybe like Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. I can see Joe Pesci.
I'd take Joe Pesci.
Or a drunk Danny DeVito.
Although
Charlie
Pesci
Sheen.
Joe Pesci now kind of looks like rough. He looks like he's dying. Poor guy.
Oh, freaking let him die in peace. Jesus Christ,
you see him
Johnny.
in that movie? What
you
was
don't,
that movie?
you don't look too good yourself there, bud.
Oh, I don't feel too good. Believe me.
All right, guys, I'm going to pull everything back in here. People are
As I make
dying.
another
Joe
one,
Pesci's going.
Yanni's trying to kill off Joe Pesci.
We just want to personally thank all these amazing guests we had. Your stories impacted not just our viewers, but us. It made us realize what we're doing is the right thing. We've had so many people reach out, and we're going to blow this shit out of the water 2021, right, Tim? I can't say we're going to have better guests because, you really can't outdo the ones we had. We're just going to keep on having every guest I mentioned. They're all tied for like first place.
Yeah, we're going to bring
Really.
more inspirational stories.
They're amazing. And thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people from all over the world tuned in to listen to their stories. To listen to two people like me and Tim who, at one point were down and out. World gave up on us. And, we're here interviewing these people. You give us hope. We just want to personally thank everybody for the viewers. The viewers, obviously. But these guests, man, some of you knew me, some of you didn't. But to come on our show, to give us a chance, it's just great stuff. Tim, I know you think the world of some of these people. We talk about them on a daily basis. Like Yanni said, I reach out to a lot of them because I really care about them.
Yeah, I mean, Laura just said that Frank Mink was one of her favorites, or the pork roll story.
The pork roll story. The pork roll story is amazing. I tried to get pork roll on as a guest, but she tried to eat the microphone every time I tried to put it in front of her. Pork roll is a crazy story. For anybody who don't know, Beat Tim now nonprofit, but we're not fake. Everything we do, man, there's a reason, and our whole goal into this, not just a podcast, it's just like a brand of helping people. That's just what we want to do. We're out there on the streets, man. We don't always talk about it, but we're out there. We're out there in the trenches, helping people. And one of the things that we really like to help is animals, who were thrown away, who, you see sometimes you look into this animal who's down and out, and you see yourself. And pork roll is definitely one of them. Pork roll is my sister, Brooke's dog. Brooklyn, love you. Pork roll's her dog. She got the dog from it was first at ACCT Philly, and it went to another place. Went through foster home. They found this dog. It was Porsche, but I think she told me Kensington. They found it in Kensington, abandoned. The dog was used for breeding. Had a lot of injuries, so they might have used it for dog fighting. I don't know, but it's nipples. Can I say nipples on air, Tim?
Yeah.
Nipples.
For the right reasons, yeah.
Yeah, for the right reasons, I can say whatever I want.
We dropped like multiple F-bombs today.
Yanni, I'm telling a story, Yanni. Just sports, Yanni, sports. You're back to sports.
So 0-3 last week.
Yeah, 0-3. Oh, God, Jesus
come on,
Christ.
man. We almost got through the whole show without mentioning.
I give this guy a bone. I let him come on the show, and now he's telling me you can't say nipples. I'll say whatever I want, Yanni. But anyway, so this dog, it could barely see. It was down and out. Bones. They found it. A construction worker found it. Construction workers, such great people. Concrete industry, construction, they're made of great people.
They really are.
And if you're looking for concrete, check out Northeast Concrete in Philadelphia. They got the best. They got the best concrete in Philadelphia.
Ever the salesman.
Check them out. I'm telling you.
More pork roll, less concrete. Come
All
on.
right. So this construction worker found pork roll. Long story short, my sister came across pork roll. I actually went with her. She was meeting. They had it in a foster home, and these wonderful people, they brought it in South Philly. They were going to keep it, but they had cats, and pork roll, they said when they got it, was great with with cats and other animals, you got to realize Pork Roll was like lifeless when they found her. Had no energy. Wasn't going to chase anything. It couldn't. It could barely walk. It could barely see. It had scars on it. It was a person who was broken. It was a person like me and Tim can relate. A person who, you know, when you're in that spot where you lose hope in life, you know, I don't think Pork Roll had any hope. You know, when you're starving, you're left. Your family leaves you abandoned on the street. What kind of hope can you have? You don't want to chase nothing. You don't want to play with other animals. So they said it was good with other animals. So they brought it in. And then what happens? Pork Roll starts getting her weight up, starts getting back to that person that she thought she lost, and find out she likes to chase cats. And, you know, they had these cats forever. These people loved Pork Roll, but they were just like, we can't, you know, Pork Roll's chasing our cats. I'd chase the cats, too. I hate cats.
Fuck those cats.
I know, right? I would have got rid of the cats.
Let's back off the cats.
I would have got rid of the cats should have got rid of the people and kept Pork Roll.
Listen, I'm here for the cats, all right?
You know, but
unbelievable. I can't believe this.
So you have these people, they can't take Pork Roll anymore. God bless their soul. They're huge fans of Pork Roll. So my sister goes there. She hits me up. She doesn't feel safe, you know, going. So I'm like, oh, I'm thinking. She tells me the dog is an older dog. I'm like, you know, it's from, you know, I know the background a little. And I'm just thinking, like, you know, this ain't a good idea. But I'll go with her just to make sure she's safe and everything. And all that good stuff. So we go there, South Philly. We walk in to the biggest ray of sunshine I've ever seen in my life. It was Pork Roll. She was just had that look I've seen. You know, somebody who was once broken, who now isn't. And she was filled with such joy. And I have pictures of Pork Roll when she was first found and now. And you can even see. You can see the picture up there. You know, on the left, that is Pork Roll. Just look in her eyes. That's somebody who's seen some bad shit, right, Tim? I've had that look. I've been there. That's some person who, you know, the world gave up on. And then what happened? The world came through for Pork Roll. And right away, I told my sister, you need to get this dog. We had lost my brother who passed away. He had a dog, and we had just recently lost that dog. It became kind of like our family dog. After my brother passed, we had Braddock, who's a bulldog just like Pork Roll. And, you know, it hit the family pretty hard, losing the one thing left we had of my brother. And Pork Roll, we got her, and she's at my sister's, but we see her all the time. You know, she's been a ray of hope. But that just tells anybody out there, you know, adopt, don't shop, Tim always says, right, Tim? Tim's a huge dog. He has like 35 dogs.
Yeah, I mean, you always got to adopt. There's so many dogs out there that have stories similar to Pork Roll, stories similar to other dogs that you read. And whenever you get the opportunity, just because the dog's a little bit older and not a brand new puppy, doesn't mean you can't give it an outstanding life.
I can honestly say Pork Roll's been like the greatest thing to happen in our life. You know, Tim fell in love with it. Mo fell in love with it. The kids fell in love with it. My family fell in love with it. It's been the greatest thing to happen. This dog that was once given up on. This dog that was left in the street. You know, like I've said many times before, I see myself in this dog. You know, nobody's ever unrepairable. You know, no matter how far out you are, how low you are. I've seen people do great things in this world. Everybody has a chance. Everybody. And, you know, that's just my whole dog spiel. Right, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, you were thinking that, but then I was like, except for the people that take Yanni's picks and bet on them.
Well, yeah, you know, unless you're like a rapist, you do anything to children, you're never irreparable. You know, you're some rat bastard snitch, child toucher. You know, not all people are repairable. Let me clarify that. You prey on the weak. You know.
Yeah, if you're a piece of shit, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kinda hard to bounce back from being a piece of shit. Right, Tim?
Yeah. You know, not everybody's repairable, but if you haven't done any of them sick, disgusting, unhonorable, horrible things, you are repairable. Thank God Pork Roll's never done any of them. I don't think so.
Could you imagine she went 0-6 2 weeks in a row?
She'd be out.
2 weeks in a row.
No wonder the people with the cats got rid of her.
That never happened.
0-6 total.
But yeah, that's just
I went 3-0 the last time I went.
Yanni,
Man, get your facts straight.
Yanni, I'm running the show over here. Yanni.
I'm actually still thinking. You think I can get them Joe Pesci roles? Or I mean, there's
Yanni,
still some good money in being a little loud guy.
if you believe in yourself,
Be anything you want.
this guy's not going to shut up, Tim. I'm just going to have to bring him in the show, right?
If you want to be an all-time great Joe Pesci, shit, you could be an all-time great Joe
I'm just
Pesci.
going to have to randomly throw sports in or something. Like, what the hell?
Home Alone 5. You know,
76ers, go.
Yanni, welcome to the show. You won't shut up. We're doing inspiration here. I'm changing lives, and you want to talk Joe Pesci. Yanni, let me see. What I got on my list?
I'm just saying.
Who would you
Nothing.
say would be inspirational? Maybe the NBA.
Jalen
You
Hurts.
guys brought it up. You know, I'll take them Joe Pesci
Yanni.
roles.
I'm gonna bring inspiration, and I'm gonna bring you into the show. Jalen Hurts, the
Uninspirational.
most inspirational person in my life, probably Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, until he loses you
Okay.
$2,400.
I've never seen Jesus Christ, but I imagine he wears the number 2 jersey. What do you
Looks
think?
Similar to Jalen Hurts.
So the Eagles, for anybody who's not from Philadelphia or you're just a weirdo and you don't follow them, the Eagles benched their $100 million quarterback Carson Wentz recently. And they put Jalen Hurts in, who I've been talking about for months. I've said he was the second coming. I said he was the greatest. I said he was a savior. And I don't know. Tim's laughing like a schoolgirl.
The comment.
And I don't care about comments, Tim.
God damn it.
I'm trying to run a show.
My listeners.
And they brought Jalen Hurts in.
Well, now I gotta look.
This guy sold his dog. Tim, read the comment.
I had to sell my dog to pay for my debt from the taking Yanni's picks.
Oh, somebody wants to adopt a dog. I think we got
Oh,
one.
there's a dog available. Hey, that's what I'm about. You know what I mean? Maybe the dog wasn't happy with you or whatever. Brandon or whatever the name was.
All right, Jan. So Jalen
A
Hurts.
little defensive, bud.
Jalen Hurts comes in. That poor dog. That's horrible. That's horrible. Yeah, we went.
Ruining lives.
So Jalen Hurts. They put this rookie in over this $100 million, the savior of Philadelphia sports.
Sure.
They benched him because he just wasn't doing good. He's just not the same. He looked amazing when he first came in, but he just doesn't look good anymore. They put Jalen Hurts in. Jalen Hurts looked great. He won this amazing game against the Saints, and then he played a great Arizona team. He lost at the final seconds, but he looked amazing. This week he gave up a lead, and he lost to the Dallas Cowboys to officially end our season.
Felt that
we got
one.
our playoff hopes. We got one more game, but it's for nothing. What do you think about that? Is Jalen Hurts not Jesus Christ? What's going on?
Well, he's not Jesus Christ yet. But like I said on the show last week, I mean, I think this is boring, but the way this ends is in an open competition between the two of them. And quite frankly, I kind of think Carson should be playing this week. Either
We
to
want to lose, right?
either to rebuild his confidence, right? Because again, I find it hard to believe that you can move that contract. No matter what that means, I find it hard to do that. Now, NFL teams find a way. So you're going to go into next year with a competition. So either you want to rebuild that confidence, or at the very least, you want him to put some good tape out, and maybe you can move him. Will one game do that? I don't know, but it's probably better than the last time you saw him. He was getting benched for Jalen Hurts.
My quick question for you. I've seen what the draft would be if the season ended today.
Yes.
So the Bengals, Eagles, they tied, but Bengals would get the higher draft pick.
Yes.
Why?
Based on strength of schedule. So our strength of schedule was better, and that would make them ahead.
So they had a harder schedule.
They had a harder schedule. No, they had an easier schedule.
So why would they get the better draft pick then?
The harder schedule, if you have the same thing and you have the harder schedule, you get the later draft pick.
That doesn't make sense.
So is Jalen Hurts going to be our quarterback
You
next
had
year?
an easy
Yanni?
schedule and you lost less. What do you mean?
Let's cut this shit. Is Jalen Hurts going to be our quarterback next year? I don't care about your banner with Tim.
He's going to be on the roster, and there's going to be a competition. I mean, and if you start hearing draft nicks, right now, there's even a little competition or a conversation going on that maybe they take a quarterback in the draft that high. I find it hard to believe because you just can't sell that to me as a fan. going into next year with Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, and let's say Trey Lance from North Dakota State. Also, 2 North Dakota State quarterbacks.
No, thank you.
There will be riots in the streets.
And Yanni, I know you're a sports expert and everything, but in your expertise, I know you're a pretty smart guy.
Sure.
Would you think Rufus would be a good name for a clown?
Probably.
It would be a good name for a clown?
Probably.
I think so, too. Like a bozo, right?
Yeah.
First class bozo.
Sure.
I think it's Rufus. Who would name their kid Rufus?
I don't know.
Bozo the clown
Bozo the
kid.
Clown, yeah.
My God.
Now, where the fuck did that come from?
Nah, you're the smartest guy I know. I just had questions, you know.
What?
All right, I'm just saying Rufus is a bozo. I like your opinion, you know. God bless your soul.
bozo.
Now, speaking of bozos, let's stay on the bozo topic. We're going to just throw it all over the place because what the hell? I don't know what the show's about.
Really took offense to that comment.
We're going to hit...
I thought I
Grinding
knew
your
what the
grit.
show was about.
Yanni.
Now I have no idea what the hell the show's
Shit
about.
really grinded his gears.
So, Yanni, you agree with me. Jalen Hurts is the savior of this team.
He's a good player. He's going to have to compete and win his job.
Tim, do you agree?
No. Can't play big game football.
Who do you think should be the quarterback?
This was a big game, Theo.
It was a playoff game. It was win or go
Sure,
home.
but you're playing with me at corner.
It was
And I
still
got
a big
roasted,
game.
by the way.
So you're not on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon.
I mean, he could end up being a starter, but
Do you agree Rufus would make a good name for a clown?
leave Rufus alone.
Here he
Leave
goes
Rufus
again.
alone.
All right, I'm just throwing crazy
Donnie,
questions
nobody
out
gets
there.
your bad jokes.
Now, anybody that's in the chat,
Can we go back to being a Joe Pesci film?
No, I'm just throwing stuff out. That's what our show's about. We like to ask opinions, and I'm just asking opinions.
No opinions. You just scream into the microphone and we go, yeah, Donnie.
All right, well, we just came up with it is a clown name.
Donnie loves guest interaction unless they say something negative about the show. Then it turns into a whole fucking
It's
shit
a clown name. Let's just be honest. Rufus. I think of juggling and a unicycle, and I think of like a red nose and paint on your face when I hear the name Rufus. Like, I wouldn't even name my dog that Brandon gave away Rufus.
The guy Rufus that made the comment, he's actually like a boxing historian. Just happened to be listening to the show.
I don't.
Rufus.
I'm a clown historian. That's a clown name, Tim.
Rufus sounds like he sells moonshine.
Yeah, while wearing a red nose and big shoes on a unicycle. Let's cut this shit, Yanni. Let's call it as we see it. We
Definitely,
love.
I agree with the moonshine. Actually, anybody got any?
Does anybody have
I've
moonshine?
been watching Yanni make these little sissy drinks over there.
I'm drinking
Tim.
White Russian since it's winter time. It's
A
a
little
great winter
sprinkle
drink.
of vodka.
Tim, let's get back on stage.
Sprinkle.
Well, that's
Nobody
all that
has.
was left.
Nobody has moonshine. Does anybody have hope, Tim? Do you have any hope?
I got hope for days. I'll drop hope bombs all.
Drop hope, Tim. Here we are, about to start a new year, and you started this new venture. We're Reckless Donnie Hart, Hungry for Hope. We're a podcast. We're a nonprofit. We're a brand. We're just people who spread inspiration any way we can. How does that feel? What do you think about the new year? How's your year in review with Hungry for Hope? This maniac thing we're on. How's it been?
Well, it's been a great ride. But like to those listening, I have to say, you can flip a switch tomorrow, 12 a.m. 11:59 a.m. Once that switch hits, it becomes 2021. It's a fresh year. You might be able to make a couple good NFL picks. Who knows? The world is your oyster at this point. If there's stuff you want to accomplish, set goals. Get there. Listen to the show every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Get inspired. And, start winning at life if you're not.
Tim, they don't. You make a great point, man. A new year, it can be a new year, but they don't have to be kind of like how I related to the same thing. Our guest, Pro BMXer, Olympic coach, went from prison to the Olympics. Tony Hoffman told us when he first decided he was locked in a prison cell doing 4 years, he was down and out, man. He was a broken man. And just like I was there, I spent a couple New Years locked up. It sucks, man. But you don't have to start these huge, you don't have to say, I'm going to go to the Olympics or I'm going to, do a show, or I'm gonna have a nonprofit, or I'm gonna change the world. Just little stuff. Like I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna brush my teeth better than I did yesterday. I'm gonna fold my bed. I'm gonna be a better person every day.
Fold your bed.
I don't care, Tim. Whatever. I'm gonna fold you.
Where do you get a foldable bed? Like
I'm
a
pissed
futon?
off,
You gonna
Tim.
put
I
the
don't-
futon back together?
I'm gonna make my bed. I'm gonna do something, Tim.
There you go.
Freaking spread inspiration and stop your bullshit. You're on the Rufus train, and now you guys are unicycling around town, juggling.
I gotta get to the bottom of this Rufus thing after the show.
Yeah. It's a bozo. But let's get back to
He
inspiration.
did confirm he sells moonshine.
Let's get back to inspiration. We love all of our viewers. We love y'all. We love y'all.
Yeah, especially the clowns.
We love y'all. But it's a new year, man. You could change your life for the better. A lot of people. I know this was a shitty year, man. Shitty year. A lot of people. I see a lot of people I love going through hard times. People losing businesses, losing jobs. Just sucks, man. Just sucks. But I've been there, man. I spent New Year's incarcerated, down and out. Just in a shitty place, real shitty place, and I never thought in a million years I'd ever make it out. But just step by step, I slowly did. Anybody can do it. If I can, if Tim can do it, anybody can. If two guys like us can overcome the crazy shit we overcome and be here, in the shape we're in, physically, mentally, to spread what we spread, whatever it is, this hope we try to share. Anybody can do it. So anybody, like I always say, if you're at a rock bottom doesn't have to be your end. It can be your what, Tim?
Your beginning.
Your beginning. Hungry for Hope Nation. It's been a great year. It's been a great night. Big time Tim Kudges. He's out of here. Yanni the Greek. He's out of here. I'm out of here.